Hey, good morning everyone. This is John Bauer at Blue Stem Ranch. It is April 29th. Yeah, April 29th. And we have just moved the cows out on grass for the first time to start the grazing season. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of green grass yet. It's a little bit poking through. Most of it's stockpiled grass from last year. But the theory here is that we're going to use up this stockpile and start clipping our new growth early. Typically in a regular set stocking situation where there's moved out to pasture and left in that pasture, or maybe one or two others for the summer, this would be way too early. And it even makes me a little nervous. But this time of the year, we move our cattle really quickly across the landscape. We're taking, we move every day, and we're on basically a 42-day rotation. I may even drop it down to 39 days so we can stay ahead of seed production on the grass. So what kind of tends to happen when you don't spread your cattle out and you give your grass time to rest, you can oftentimes, especially in the spring, fall behind. And when I say fall behind, meaning that the grass goes to seed and loses productivity and loses its feed value because it becomes mature and full of lignin, and it's just not as desirable for the cattle. So what we do is try to just clip the tips of the grass, just give it a little prune, and then move on. And that way we can get it around the entire farm and keep it in a vegetative state. So it's always growing, always producing more solar panels, and providing more fresh, high-quality grass for the cattle. So that's where we're at today. We went on it was about a mile walk across this pasture to this end, and I'll give them about 4 acres today, and we'll kind of maintain that throughout the moves. So it's not a very heavy stocking rate. We're less than, we've got about 60 head out here on 4 acres, so we're not too bad at all. We're not less than 20,000 pounds per acre per day, so that's really not very heavy at all. So the grass shouldn't be impacted too much, but like always, we'll monitor it and make sure that we're not taking too much, and if we are, then we'll have to kind of come up with a new game plan. But as you can see, this is, maybe you can see this grass is as tall as my boot. So you're talking 16, 18 inches up to my knee. And then we have new grass that's already coming up that is, 6 or 7 inches tall. So, we're really not actually too early. For some of the grasses, some of the areas of our farm that we hit a little bit harder last fall, those aren't ready yet. The grass is too short. I'm not sure if you remember one of the videos from last year where we talked about the impacts of high density grazing and maybe taking a little bit too much grass, but the trade-off is that we left a lot more fertility on the ground, and that we're going to have to wait for that particular paddock. We did that a couple different times throughout the farm, and so we're just going to make sure that we wait long enough to get through those paddocks. And so what we can do is just plan for what we're going to do, how we're going to move, and make sure that those paddocks are saved for the end of our rotation this summer, or this spring, I should say. And we won't hit them until mid-June, the way it looks, or early, maybe the first week in June. So by then, those grasses will be fully recovered, and they should be well over my knees and just ready to rock and roll. And I don't know if you've seen, we do have a few calves on the ground. This is typically a little early for us. Our calving window is supposed to be May 15th through the end of June, but we took a few cattle out on shares this year, and those cows were set to calf here late April, and they're starting. We're getting a calf or two pretty much every day now. So pasture will start filling up with all kinds of babies, and it's lots of fun. I usually don't tag calves anymore until they run through the yard, and we can put them in the chute and just give them a quick tag and a 7-way shot. But these guys, because they're the share cattle, I kind of want to get a tag in them right away, just so I know who they are and can compare and contrast and get a good idea of the difference between calves that came from our farm and calves that came from off our farm. So, and see how that goes. This has definitely reminded me that I don't like calving out in the pasture. I love calving out in the pasture. I don't like tagging calves out in the pasture. These cows are fine. They're not aggressive or anything, but it's still just not as much fun to grab a calf and it gets loud and doesn't like what's going on, and neither does the cow. So that makes me not like it either. So we'll do it this year, and then any calves after this, once we have our bulls on all the cows, we'll just go back to letting everybody have calves out in the pasture, and we'll tag them in the corrals when they come through. So anyway, we have a beautiful day on hand. It's been super windy this month, and I'm tired of it. So it's nice to have a day without wind. And so I'm just going to enjoy every minute I can outside today. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go. We got a lot of work to do yet this spring, and so we're going to get after it. Have a good day.